For those of us that love it all, there's only one show that gives you computer talk, celebrity news, collectibles, and food. What? You didn't think I was going to miss a chance for another fat joke, did you? This is Beyond the Routine.
Not only are we live, but we have a much missed member of the crew back.
Hello.
Hi, Dave.
How we doing?
Dave,
Yes.
Welcome back.
how are
Thank
you?
you. I'm happy to be back.
Are you really,
happy
though?
to be back.
Are you really?
I actually, well, mostly. Yes,
Mostly. Just mostly?
Because I was in a really pretty place.
You were.
It was hard to leave.
You were in a very pretty place, and it was very hard to leave.
You know what's interesting to being on vacation is after a while you actually kind of get tired of being on vacation because you feel like there's nothing left to do. You've done everything, and it's like, okay, now I'm kind of bored.
Really?
You actually get that way, yeah.
You should tell us more about our vacation in our first segment.
Yes, we have a first segment,
Yep.
and it is this one.
They can barely remember the last segment, but for some reason want to talk about last week. Don't worry, it won't take long. This is Week in Review on Beyond the Routine.
So, Jones, what did you do in the last week, buddy?
Nothing at all.
Nothing fun at all. Things with the house are not going well,
I heard.
but it's too fresh. I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to share?
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
So, tell us all about your vacation.
So is this about, it's all about me?
So-
This is all about Dave?
It's all about Dave.
I'm so
man.
excited.
As we remember, Mr. Thorne here
Been gone for a couple weeks.
Took his youngest. Took his.
Well, hold
baby.
on. You're jumping the gun here.
Oh,
Back
God,
up.
he's
Okay.
jumping
Back
the
up.
gun.
Back up. Stop
You went
for a
with the
second.
baby to Tahoe, though,
Stop
right?
for a second. Okay, so the first week I was gone, I was at a family reunion in Lake Tahoe.
What? You do the family reunion every year,
Every 2 years.
and last time was Seattle.
No, last time was Long Beach in
Long Beach.
Washington on the beach.
What up, Long
Yes.
Beach?
Which, by the way, anybody coast, Long Beach is fantabulous.
We're
Definitely
talking
go there.
Washington Long Beach, not Snoop Dogg Long Beach.
Correct. Washington Long Beach. That's
Okay.
right. Yes. And that was so we did that family reunion.
So have
there
you
were
been to
30 of
Tahoe?
us basically there. It was a good time.
Have you been to Tahoe previously?
I've been to Tahoe previously, yes, several
Very
times.
cold Tahoe is.
We have condos right on the lake, so it's like a quarter-mile walk down to the lake, and there's a beach right there. We set up the canopies and set up the blankets and everything. We had rafts and boats and paddle boards and everything that we went out on, and then we also rented a motorboat to water ski and wakeboard and all those kind of things on, so that was a lot of fun.
That does sound fun.
Did all that, yeah. Had a great time. It was a lot of fun. So, good times.
And so you came back from that, and then you did what?
Came back from that, had a one-day turnaround, and then we took off to the U.S. Virgin Islands to take my daughter to college, which is where she's going, to UVI, which is the University of the Virgin Islands.
No, the U.S. Virgin Islands are different than the French Polynesian Virgin Islands.
And different than the British Virgin Islands.
And what about the Asian Virgin Islands?
I didn't know if
Is
there
there
were
an
any
Asian Virgin
Are there
Islands?
Asian Virgin Islands?
And Australian Virgin Islands? What about those ones?
I think you're making stuff up now. I'm pretty sure.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Icelandic
Hold on
Virgin
1 second.
Islands? Is that one?
There is a British Virgin Islands, right?
Yes, there is a British Virgin Islands.
So for a second, I thought, because he's the one that's been making that British Virgin Island joke, and so I thought for a second that I have not been in on the joke, and this entire time there is no British Virgin Islands.
No, there is.
But I
a
remember
British
you
Virgin,
saying you were
yes.
going to the
Yeah,
British
we-
Virgin
In fact,
Islands.
we almost did, but we ended up not doing it because we found out that the ferry that takes us there stops at 6 p.m. And if you miss that last ferry, you end up staying the night over on that island. And we decided we didn't want to take that
You know how
chance.
rough and tumble those
Is that like
Brits
the
get.
bad
Exactly
side
right.
of the tracks?
I don't know, but I just didn't want to chance it.
Wow.
It was on a Sunday, and we got a late start.
I hear they have
so
excellent fish and chips.
It's quite possible. Did not try
hear that.
Did not try
They
that.
serve them on newspaper.
So let me tell you what we did there. Hold on, I got some stuff I want to cover here on the U.S. Virgin Islands. So we arrived, and I rented a car from this guy. So the U.S. Virgin Islands is really
Just
interesting.
some guy.
From this guy. Yeah, I found.
Hey, buddy, you
he
need
was
a car?
recommend-
Like,
he was-
do they talk like that? No?
Yes, they do actually.
Hey,
Very Jamaican type
island
accents there.
living.
But so what it is there's only one rental company actually on the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's Dollar Rental.
Can I ask a slightly, maybe interpreted as racist question? Okay. What race of folk live on Virgin Island? Like Islander people, right?
They're black.
Oh, they're black.
Well, the natives are black, but
So-
there's a lot of white population there.
Can I ask another stupid question?
Okay.
Is the Virgin Islands in the Pacific or the below Florida?
Oh my goodness. So you know where Cuba is?
Yeah.
You go Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and then the U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands.
So I thought the British Virgin Islands were in the Pacific Ocean. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, not even close.
Okay, I'm stupid.
Think right above South America and between South America and Cuba.
All right.
Okay, so I arrived there. I rented this car from this guy named Dexter.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, Dexter.
He rents like 5 cars. He's got 5 vehicles that he rents out of this little mom and pop company that he runs. The only other company on the island that actually
He didn't have like
rents
a
cars
bunch
is
of
Dollar.
melamine like around like in his.
He was fine.
Not that
Actually, they
Dexter.
met us at the airport. The lady dropped off the car, and I filled out the form, and she scanned the credit card and everything. And then she's like, "What are you here doing?" While I was doing this, she goes, "Oh, I'm dropping my daughter off at the UVI." And she turns to my daughter and goes, "Oh, you're studying marine biology." We didn't tell her that. She just said that. And I was like, and my daughter's like, yeah. And they went in and talked about marine biology for a second. And then I turned to her and I go, how did you know she was studying marine biology? And she turns to me and she goes, it's what all the white girls that come here study.
Whoa.
It was so funny.
That's great.
It was so funny.
Now, is that a racist comment?
That might be.
I think it is.
I thought it was hilarious, but it could be interpreted as possibly racist.
If it's not a racist comment, it's definitely racist stereotyping.
It was really, but what I found out was it's true.
Oh yeah.
So my daughter when we registered into the dorms, she has it's a mix. It's about 50-50 white black in the dorms, girls.
Okay.
And all the natives, they're not studying marine biology. All the white girls but one studying marine biology.
So I think we talked about this previous. If it's a stereotype and it's a true stereotype,
It's not racist.
is that where we landed on that?
I think it has to be.
I'm not sure about that.
It was really
Yeah,
funny.
I
It was
think-
really
yeah,
funny.
I think we might have landed on that it might still
So,
be racist.
so I got the rental car. We got in. We drove out. We handed the ticket. We didn't have to pay anything because it was within 15 minutes when they picked us up. And then, as I'm driving out, I pull to the right, and I'm on the wrong side of the road.
Oh God.
They drive on the left side of the road there, not the right side.
So
of the
just
road.
like I drive here.
So it's a U.S. car. It's a U.S. car with
Yes.
the steering wheel on the left side.
Yes.
But you drive on the left side of the road.
So like I drive here.
So, well, I guess I don't know. Do you drive on the left side of the road?
Yeah, is that a problem?
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah,
I wonder why I
surprised
kept
you got in an
getting
accident.
pulled over.
So it's kind of cool for left turns because you're right there and you can see the curb and turn everything. But the right turns freak you out because you pull in the middle and then you pull that big wide right turn.
Yeah.
It feels so wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And I'm only messed up twice, both times in parking lots because you don't think about it in a parking lot and you pull over to the right and then people get really angry. with you.
in parking lots, you don't have to drive on. You can do whatever you want.
Apparently not there. I had a couple people yell at me because I was on the wrong side of the parking lot road.
What the hell, man?
So,
It's just, what I
so then
imagine.
we drive up to the Airbnb after we check into the dorm. We drive up to the Airbnb that I'm renting, and
So
I
you
get
did not use the rental hookup you have.
no. I did an Airbnb, and the directions there are there's no street signs. There are no street signs. It's like you drive to drive along this road, turn on the second red light. Drive up the road until you see 3 telephone poles clustered together. Take a left there. These are the directions you get. It's really hilarious.
So when I went to Bermuda, like it's been a decade now, but when I went to Bermuda, like you can't rent a car in Bermuda if you're not a native.
Oh, really?
And so you can rent scooters. And I drove all the way from like the long ways across Bermuda without stopping my scooter because it's all roundabouts.
Oh, wow.
So there's no stop signs on the entire island.
There's only one roundabout that I ran into
really?
on the island. Yeah. So, but I got lost. The directions, I totally got lost. And
You have to write
so
something like that down.
I called the lady, and she actually came and found me and drove me to the Airbnb.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
That's
And
service.
Oh, it was actually pretty cool. And then
So if you're ever in the Virgin Islands, find a guy named Dexter to rent your car.
so
from.
no, that wasn't Dexter. That
Is
was
there
his
something
car,
wrong with
but-
the audio, Jonesy?
Nope, we're good.
So then I get to the Airbnb, and I'm following her, and we get to the place where literally there were the 3 poles clustered together. That was
Okay.
a real direction.
All right.
And you turn into the driveway. Well, the driveway is literally like this. It's like a 30% grade down. Oof. It's insane. You're going down this hill, and the tires are slipping as you're going down the driveway. It's
That sounds
terrifying. Oh my gosh! And
Was
you
it a stick?
There were no.
Okay.
No. So that was fun, but the Airbnb was beautiful and it was fabulous. And then the only thing I did was I went snorkeling.
And is this Airbnb, was it just a room in someone's house?
No,
or
it's a
was
2-bedroom condo.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it was the lowest floor of a 3-story rental that they had. Each story was its own condo.
Gotcha.
And then we went snorkeling right by the beach by the university. There's a beach that is actually managed by the university, and we snorkeled there. And that's a year-round turtle feeding place. So we saw like 9 sea turtles feeding right there, which is really cool. And then we went scuba diving. We did a 2-tank scuba dive. that was a lot of fun.
2 tank. What does that mean?
That means you do 1 tank, so you dive down with 1 tank, and you stay down for like 45 minutes or whatever with that first tank. And then you come back up, you have a rest period of about 30 minutes, and then you go back down with a second tank. So you do a 2 tank dive. So you're out there for about 3 hours.
Wow.
That sounds awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
You know, I'm not much of a swimmer. I don't swim very well. I can swim, like I can swim the length of an Olympic-sized pool, but it's not very pretty.
You really don't need to swim.
So that's what I was going to ask. Do you think I could scuba dive then?
Oh, absolutely, because you've got a breather, so you've got air.
But how do you stay below the surface?
They have weights. They put weights on you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you have an inflation vest. So when you first put everything on, you inflate the vest, but you have weights on. I wear 10 pounds of weights.
Okay.
And that holds me down underwater. And so you inflate the vest, you fall off the back off the boat. You basically fall backwards. You sit down and fall backwards off the boat. You float, and then when everybody's in the water, the dive master gives the signal to go down, and you hold up your BCD vent, and you basically it's called your regulator. Well, no, your regulator's here. You basically let out the air out of your vest, and the weights pull you down, and you go down.
Jones, would you scuba dive?
Possibly.
The nice thing is you don't. You're never out of breath, right? You have air, so you're breathing the whole time.
Is it a weird feeling when you first do it?
The very first time you do it, it's odd.
Yeah, I want to do that.
It's a lot of fun.
That's one of them bucket list items.
You do have to do what I did though. You have to shave the stash because the mask needs a seal on the upper lip so you don't get water up your nose, which is why I have the shaved stash.
Jones, would you go Brigham Young for scuba diving?
No.
No. He has a mighty stash, dude.
He does have a nice
You can't just take
stash.
that thing off.
You could
Look at
always
that thing.
Vaseline it. You could throw the Vaseline on the stash.
Oh, I use the hell out of Vaseline.
Oh yeah.
Are we still talking about scuba diving?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I was
spits in
told.
it.
I was told that people that don't want to shave the stash, they do use Vaseline, and they'll put Vaseline on there, and you get the seal.
So, and then you drop the kid off.
Dropped the daughter off. There was a moment when I almost shed a tear.
Yeah.
But I held it in. I did choke up a little bit voice wise.
You know, if you hold it in, it just comes out later.
I know. I may have cried on the plane, but I will neither confirm nor deny that may have happened.
You took a Duke on the plane because I got a picture of you in the shitter.
Did you notice it was blue?
Yes,
they had
very
blue lights. It was
very
blue lights, and it was totally weird. What was cool
gonna
about
ask
that
you if
is
you're going to audition for Blue Man Group
when I was flying back,
because you got the ball.
it was very nice. When I was flying back, we flew through the shadow of the eclipse. They actually directed the flight so it flew through the shadow. So looking out the windows, I was at the aisle seat, but I could look out the windows on both sides. You could see the shadow, the circle shadow on both sides, and so we were in the shadow. And he actually turned the pilot turned the plane sideways a little bit, so you could actually see up into the sky and see how dark it was.
Wow!
He did it to both sides. It
Jones,
was really cool.
Did you do anything for the eclipse?
I went outside.
Did you wear glasses?
I wore like 6 stacked pairs of sunglasses because I was not prepared and bought solar.
I would have just looked at the really cool shadows it made with that
That's not as cool.
crescent looking.
I gathered like
thing.
5 or 6 pairs of sunglasses from my house and just stacked them together.
Stacked them together.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Were you able to see it?
Pretty cool. Yeah.
I did.
It was a very eerie. It was a very
Nice.
eerie feeling once the
It was right.
totality came. As much as we got 85%. I think totality.
I think it was like 91.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite as. But the weirdest thing about it was, and I couldn't put my finger on it at first. The weirdest part about it is all the shadows were facing the wrong way. So like in my brain, I was like, "This isn't like something's wrong." It's almost like waking up in like a fake world or something. It's like,
Are you still asleep?
I couldn't figure it out, and then I realized like it was basically like a sunset, but from the other way.
Right.
So, like sunrise, you have the real short shadows. So you had the long shadows of a sunset, but faced the same way as a sunrise. It was very odd.
Okay.
It was cold too.
It got cold, huh?
22 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, 22-degree temperature drop.
Yeah,
Okay.
my that cousin is in the path of totality, and she said it was like 30-degree drop.
Wow.
So
Cool.
it shows that we need that big fireball. So is that everything?
That's what happened.
you
Then I
still-
got home and back to work.
You guys recovering from not having a fourth member of the fam?
My wife is having a very hard time with it. I'm okay because I just text my daughter every day and say I love you, and she texts me back and says I'm still alive.
Aww.
So there you go.
She doesn't say I love you back. She just says I'm still alive.
Still alive.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you'll know, like, if you're like, I love you, and it's like, I love you too. You're like, we're going to the Virgin Islands. Get on a plane
Get
right
on a
now.
plane.
Something's happening.
Get that rowboat out. We're rowing.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into our next segment.
Tech News. When it comes to cutting-edge technology, Chris and Jones are all over it. Doodads and information with Tech News.
Tech news.
Tech news.
All right, so my first story comes to us from Engadget. The Galaxy Note 8 was announced.
Yay. They're not doing away with the
notes.
notes.
Oh, man, look at him. He's ready.
He heard Samsung and
He's
stood up
Samsung and
immediately.
he's coming. Here we go. So he's going to be really pissed when I say it's just meh.
Are they
It's
doing
just
away
meh.
with the exploding part of it? Like, I know that's an obvious joke that everyone has made.
No, that's
but
their tagline now. It's like the Note 7 with less explosions.
it's less splodgy.
Yeah, it's just not so. Let me be honest on this one, and we're gonna go ahead and
Oh, boy.
and bring the graphic intern into this.
So hit us with your thoughts, and then I sense a refute.
Yes.
I think Galaxy Note 8 is what Note 7
Should have been.
Amen to that. I will fully agree with you because, quite frankly, if they were going to make a big deal with this launch and everything, it should have been the Pixel 2 is announcing in a month. Well, a month and a couple weeks, right? October 5th is when Pixel 2 is announcing. And it's going to have a bigger, better processor. It's going to have, bigger, better everything, right? The Note 8 does not. The Note 8 has identical specs to the Galaxy S8 Plus, minus the dual cameras in the back.
And minus the RAM. So it's
Right, the
all
RAM
of it
is
just gonna have
6 gigs.
versus
Right,
4 gigs,
6 gigs versus 4 gigs on the RAM.
which does make a difference. Last year they made
If you're
it so,
multitasking, which
is what
granted, that's what they're
the
trying to
whole
go
thing
with,
was-
but
yeah.
how many? And like I said, I guess if you're getting a Note, you might be doing that, but I still don't think 2 apps running at the same time in your windowed mode is going to make that big a difference between 4 gigs
Should I
of
get a
RAM and
Note?
6 gigs of RAM. Not in my opinion, no. So
Not,
So
What do you
it's-
think?
wait,
not
wait.
for 900.
yeah,
something
that's the other thing. The
dollars.
price point starts at $929 to buy it outright. So that means on all these lovely new cell phone plans that they're already releasing the phone now, no more contracts. You just get into a
you
lease
lease,
on the
right,
phone, right?
right.
That means that's going to make those leases about $55 to $60 a month. on the
So
lease.
much for 2
It's
years.
actually $39
If you go on the 2 year.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
two-
on the
$39
Galaxy Forever plans that Sprint has, you're only on a year with this thing. So it's like, it's going to be
Wow.
super pricey.
So do you? It's the 835, right?
830, well, yeah, this one's the 835 processor.
Isn't, correct me if I'm wrong, and I probably am here, but isn't the Note the one that they normally debut the new Snapdragon processor, or is
No.
it so the S9 will have a different processor?
Correct.
So the Note has always used the same processor.
Correct.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
But yeah, I mean, literally, if you look at the specs across the board here,
It has a smaller battery than the
yes,
S.
smaller
Plus?
battery than the S8 Plus,
This is kind of hard to defend, Steven.
and
Well, I
it's
thought
the
there
Note
more
was cool
internal
'cause
hardware. There's now a second camera to account for as well, and they don't want people to bash
so
on
you're-
the endangering the
Yeah.
cramping the battery thing.
Right.
Bringing back that whole Note 7.
So I guess that makes sense. 8 cores.
yeah, you got. But then
What's the battery
you're dealing
life
with
expectancy?
the Note 8 has always been the huge phone, right? You got a huge screen. It's literally 0.1 inches bigger, or
Hey.
2 millimeters bigger
Than the
in the
S8
screen
Plus?
side than the S8 Plus. And the-
0.1 inches makes all the difference. Okay.
the pixel density.
So
is
at that
less.
point, do you just go with the S8 Plus and forget the Note?
If you don't find yourself ever needing the stylus, I would just go with.
Does
the
anyone?
S8 Plus.
So
One
what's
thing
the
I- one
stylus
thing I couldn't
and 6
find and I
gigs of
can't
RAM
really-
are the two differences?
because you're still getting the edgeless screen, right?
Yes.
With the Note 8.
Well, so if you like taking photos with your phone, which most of us nowadays take photos,
Right, that's my camera, right?
or videos, then you actually, this was the real upgrade. So the two lenses both have optical stabilization, which is the first phone with two lenses that both lens have optical stabilization. All the previous ones with two lenses, only one of them would
Yeah,
have
that's
optical.
essentially it's. I mean, and that's what they're really trying to sell because that's all they can sell. There's nothing else about the Note 8 that is a
That's
selling point.
that's that much of a difference.
Yeah.
So they can say more RAM, so you can do more with it, and it's got this stabilization with the
And
camera.
Well, the dual cameras,
You
right?
imagine that last year the Galaxy S7 and this year's S8's camera is rated like number 2 or number 3 in the world when it comes
Right.
to mobile cameras.
Yep.
So now that you have 2 of them, and one is a wide angle aperture, and the other is a telephoto.
Okay.
So it would just give you a lot more flexibility, and you can take photos closer to what a digital SLR can do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Like I said, I just, to me, if you weren't able to get the later hardware in it, you should have delayed the launch till you could. I mean, not that many people were really, I don't know. Yeah.
We'll see how well it sells.
So
Maybe.
I pre-ordered 2 of them, but only
Of
because
course you did.
But only because I'm due. So we're still rocking Galaxy S7 Edge.
Okay.
So we've skipped the.
You can do an
S8
unboxing
Edge.
review on your channel?
Sure.
So there's-
although there's going to be way too many unboxings, it's not going to really matter.
That never stopped us from Loot Crate.
Yeah, it's a true story, or any of the others that we do. My question is, were you still on the list as a Note 7 owner?
Yes, correct.
So
I have
did you get the discounts then?
I've been looking for that, and no, I've logged into my Samsung account. I've checked my email, and they have not notified any previous Note 7 owners of.
That you've seen.
They're supposed to, though,
that
right?
we're-
Yeah, that's
that we're
a-
supposed to get a bigger trade-in offer
Right.
than regular people.
Right.
Yeah. So.
So
That's interesting. You should definitely look for that. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
absolutely.
So when is that released? When does that go?
September 15th is the official first day of release.
Yeah, first
Okay.
day of release.
So-
September 27th.
A little over 2 weeks.
15th to like the 27th. I shouldn't fly very much, like just in case.
and in,
Oh, you chicken.
Samsung probably has the safest batteries on the planet right now.
Right.
The channel What's Inside, actually, when they got the first Galaxy S8, opened the phone and stabbed at the battery.
there,
As you do.
Stab at a
As you.
battery.
That's pretty much what I do every time I get a new phone.
that's why it took so long for them to come out. They've actually built in explosion suppression into the battery, so bomb technicians are wearing Samsung batteries in their vests.
Oh boy.
Dude, they're just
Because
they're just
this
wearing
is going
S8s.
on and on
Yeah.
and
They're
on.
just wearing S8s.
Yeah, just all over the place. Because
It's never going to end.
Yeah, but actually, so it did not explode. In fact, the new circuitry prevented anything from happening when they stabbed through
Okay.
the whole battery.
Good on
So-
them.
You know, Tom, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have the vest of S8s. I believe that was $75,000.
That's hilarious.
all right. Well,
That's
thank you
interesting.
for your feedback on that one, Stephen. We
Can
appreciate
I
it.
just say something
Sure.
in addition to that?
Absolutely.
I'm actually quite disappointed
Okay, thank you.
because the Note series is supposed to be where they introduce a lot of innovation.
Right.
So what are some of the innovating things they've done in the past? Obviously the stylus, which by the way, I don't see a lot of people actually use the
So
stylus.
in the Note 7, the big thing was the iris scan.
Okay, the iris scanner.
Okay, which it's not compatible yet with Samsung Pay, so it's not like you can use your iris scanner
Right.
to do. So you still need your fingerprint anyway.
Right.
They had the chance to move that fingerprint, position of that fingerprint scanner on the back, which was the worst feature of the S8 and S8 Plus, and they did not. And they could have already upgraded the screen to a 4K screen, which Sony for the last 2 years have had 4K screen.
Right.
Now. They did not. It's no longer an innovator. It's a top-end phone for sure, but not an innovator.
And that's what happened with HTC, right? Like HTC at the beginning of this whole smartphone thing, like HTC had a pretty large market share. And then Samsung came out with the Galaxy series and unified all the different phones they were making, focusing on the Galaxy series. So you think maybe Samsung's going to start losing market share?
Well, Samsung still every year produces more than 40 to 60 models of phones globally.
Yeah.
So,
But the Galaxy series is obviously their bread and butter.
Well, In the U.S.
Well,
In the U.S.
In the U.S.
Yes.
Nobody else matters except for us. Come on.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
All of our international listeners, the many
just tuned
millions
out?
of them that tuned out,
Yes,
we
they
just, I
did.
mean,
All
they
of-
did.
all the
Listeners
millions.
just fell through the floor.
Is it really expensive to like? How much is the difference between replacing your screen if you crack it, if it's a 4K screen compared to? Because it's already ridiculous, isn't it? Like if you take this thing, crack the screen out of the box, it's going to cost you like $400 to replace the screen.
I would not know. I never cracked my screen ever.
Ever?
Good job.
Ever.
Well, so you never had to replace your screen?
I've had to replace other people's screen, but never mine.
Well,
So let me ask you something. I see where he's going with this. He's segueing. Thank you for the awesome segue. In your replacement, when you were replacing those screens, did you have complete confidence that the replacement screen you bought wasn't going to compromise the device you were putting it in? As in the security and hackability of that device?
I actually have never come across my mind.
Well, it's something
It
that
should have.
be there. Because a new study, again, this story comes to us from Engadget, a new story has shown that one of the most common fixes to a stock smartphone ailment can be used to steal your data, compromise your device. In the newly published paper, researchers from, and I won't go into anything too racist about this, but why is Israel really focusing on smartphone technology? That's all I got to say about that. All right. Researchers from Israel's Ben Gurion University of the Negev reveal how a replacement screen can be easily altered to override your mobile.
Wow.
By embedding a malicious integrated chip within a third-party touchscreen, the research team were able to manipulate communication systems on a Huawei Nexus 6P and the LG G-Pad 7.0. This essentially allowed them to record keyboard inputs, snap pictures of the user at random, and forward them email, install apps, and direct the user to phishing websites. So a second class of attack also saw them exploit vulnerabilities in the handset's operating system kernel.
that is insane. Because I feel like until I saw this, just like you, something like that had never even crossed my mind. Like, yes, I realized that the screens you put in have chips in it, but I never thought, like, I never put two and two together. Like,
That's
is
so
crazy.
smart of them
That
to
is
do
genius.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then this is the scary part is, you know, all of these people, they're not buying the replacements. All of their replacement, the iFixits and iRepair and Bad Apple and all these places, they're not buying OEM replacement
No.
screens, plain and simple.
And even if they are buying OEM replacement screens, that word OEM, we all know,
Yeah.
is a little loose.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no way to tell. The chipsets would look exactly like they would look on it on any, you know, they get it and go, oh, this looks like a normal replacement screen, right? So you could have some company out there hacking, you know, being able to hack thousands, hundreds of thousands of phones because, you know, the iFixit chain of stores, they got the contract with them and sold them all these malicious replacements. So
And what they're going to do with that is encrypt all your data and then charge you to have the encryption undone.
But does it matter on a phone? Because your whole phone is always backed up to the cloud all the time,
I know.
right? So
But
that's
then
not,
wouldn't
that's
it
not,
encrypt
doesn't
the
work
stuff that's up in the cloud too?
Yeah, I don't think that's a whole lot different level of security, really, right?
Could
don't
be. I don't know.
but we'll see.
Could happen.
All right, Stoles, what do you have in tech news?
I have a story about the eclipse that happened this week.
Was it that
eclipse.
Dave was on a plane and flew through it?
It was not.
then went to the ship.
And then he went to the shitter to prove it somehow?
Which I want to say something about the eclipse, and it's a little political. Did you see the coverage about Donald Trump looking at the sun?
No.
So Donald Trump looked at the sun during the eclipse, and like CNN covered it for half a fucking day.
I don't read.
There's
anything
nothing else
says-
that they need to cover except that. Like, anyway, sorry.
I don't read anything that says Donald Trump on it
Off
anymore.
soapbox. It's like for a half a day they talked about it. It's like,
You know what else is being super talked about right now?
what?
That Donald Trump retweeted, not tweeted, but retweeted a meme of him going in front of Obama simulating the eclipse. Yeah. Have you seen the other memes out there? Like, they were actually started out pretty funny. Like, some lady's holding up her little white pug dog or whatever, and then somebody else moves the little white pug dog's head in front of the other one. Oh, you know.
Did you see
Kinda
the
thing.
Did you
And
see
so-
the dirty one that was going around? Because I got
No.
it from 3 different people. So you're looking at the sun, and all of a sudden, big hairy balls, and then back, big hairy balls. Yeah, I got that from several people. All right, so speaking of the eclipse, there was a concerning spike in certain Google searches right after the eclipse. This comes from iflscience.com. What? Wait.
I wish we could get a lot of stories from iflscience.com.
Why?
I don't know.
Is there other stories?
That was sarcasm.
Yeah. So the eclipse happened, and some of the interesting eclipse phenomenon that went up. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm not getting anything from iflscience.com if their website doesn't stop crashing. All right, let's reload it again. So some of the things that came up, search terms: eclipse headache spiked during the eclipse. Looking at the sun spiked during the eclipse, and
Eyes hurt.
and my favorite one is I looked at the sun for a few seconds. A search term during the eclipse. So. And then here's some great tweets. I just looked at the sun for like a second, and now my eyes actually hurt. This eclipse is no joke.
Is a joke.
And at isn't a joke. Yeah. At Ash Mess said, I don't know how I'm expected to go outside and not look at the sky when I know there's something cool up there. And then like 2 minutes later was like, update. Horrible idea. My eyes hurt now. Yeah.
So medically speaking, there are no nerves.
Yeah, there's no pain receptors.
No pain receptors in the retina. So
Yeah.
even if your retina is burned by the eclipse light,
You have no idea
You have
until
no
it's already
idea.
too late. Yeah. So, which I thought is like literally was drilled into our head for the last 6 months. So I don't understand.
Yeah, this is my 8-year-old was terrified to go outside during the eclipse because he was afraid that he was accidentally going to look at the sun and he would be blind for the rest of his life. Like, that's the fear that was instilled by all of his YouTube videos and news and TV shows that he watches. It was so he's literally walking around everywhere like this until we get him. Our neighbors had some of the glasses and they let him borrow them, and so then it was like okay, and he puts them on. He's looking, thinking it's cool, but anytime that those glasses were not on his face, his eyes were at the ground. So yeah, it's but obviously
That's pretty hilarious.
The next generation older than him is yeah. Anyways, if you ever have questions and about the state of things, go ahead and read YouTube comments from the
that's like
younger
that's the
generations.
bottom of the barrel.
Oh, horrible.
YouTube comments. So KSL comments are pretty bad, but KSL comments are shocking just because it's like, holy crap, these people actually believe this stuff that are like my neighbors. KSL or YouTube comments though are like, whew.
Bottom of the barrel. All right, so I think that's it for tech news. Yes,
It is. Well, we have some more tech news in the form of future tech.
future tech. Nope,
These two chatty
That's
Cathys
wrong.
just don't know.
that's future intern. Future tech.
From dreams to reality, it's time to look at futurology, the newest developments and coolest stuff that hasn't even been invented yet.
We don't need roads.
Strap on your jetpacks and fly to the future.
Does anybody really
with
think
Chris
he's going to
and
say
Jones.
jetpacks there? I mean, I swear, I
future
cringe
tech.
every time.
Strap on your dildo and fly to the future.
All right, so killer robots are coming, folks.
Oh my God! And like right now, like literally,
and-
we got to get out of here. We got to solidify the door. What? Oh,
And Elon Musk is worried.
okay.
Technology leaders warn autonomous drones could become weapons of terror.
That's Skynet and Terminator and stuff.
Yes. This story comes to us from Ars
ready.
Technica.
I'm ready.
So dozens of AI-focused technology executives, including Tesla's CEO Elon Musk, are urging a United Nations working group to push forward with a plan to ban killer robots. Lethal autonomous weapons threaten to become the third revolution in warfare, their group of CEOs and CTOs wrote in an open letter organized by the Future of Life Institute.
What's the first revolution? Is that gunpowder?
Probably, yes.
What's the second? I'm gonna look
Tanks. I'm going to say
Nuclear
tanks.
weapons.
I'll find out right now.
Yes, so once developed, they will permit armed conflict to be fought at a scale greater than ever and at timescales faster than humans can even comprehend. These can be weapons of terror, weapons that despots... Who uses the term despots anymore?
Somebody who writes an article.
Despots and terrorists use against innocent populations and weapons hacked to behave in undesirable ways. So that last piece to me is... I guess the best argument overall is even if it's a defensive robot only, it can be hacked to be offensive.
And we all,
right?
I think most of us agree in this room that World War III is going to be largely fought
Yeah.
digitally. So probably not great.
It's the hacker stuff, right? It's all about that. So here's my thing, right? Is EMP technology is not fake. It is real. And it is scalable. EMP technology is. So how do you have killer robots in the same world that scalable EMP technology exists? Because quite frankly, a battlefield with killer robots on it and a single EMP in the middle of the killer robots, and there's no more...
Battlefield over.
Because they're EMP shields. In fact, EMP has thought to be used by terrorists as a potential weapon as well to disrupt
Right.
us.
Commerce
so
and everything
the U.S.
else.
military has been investing and developing in EMT shields, which I guess could be implemented into these killer robots, so they're not affected by EMP.
Okay, good job.
They
now
can put
let me
them in
ask you this.
refrigerators like that Indiana Jones movie.
There you go. Jump in a refrigerator.
Yep.
Yep. That would work.
Ooh, oh, refrigeration?
Yes.
Yes, nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen.
Whoa. What about it?
How do you stop liquid nitrogen?
Just dump a whole barrel full of it on the.
Hold on.
You just have the thrower.
So this is the game. We have to come up with ways to kill your killer robots. Or wait a minute, you're coming up with kill. Okay, you come
Yeah,
up with
and
ways to kill our.
Steven shoots it down.
Steven is our killer robot guy. You come up with ways to get rid of it. So
Liquid nitrogen.
How do you stop
So
it?
liquid nitrogen's contained in a container, which means there are plenty of materials that is unaffected by liquid nitrogen.
And he's talking about blowing up the container. He's obviously caught up on Game of Thrones.
I don't actually watch Game of Thrones.
Container.
Remember the?
That's a spoiler. Is that a spoiler? You just did a spoiler, didn't you?
Not
Is that a spoiler? Because I'm not caught up on Game of
I
Thrones.
just did a poo-poo too because you're staring me like you're very.
I am not caught up. I am not caught up.
It's such like you won't even
I
get
have
it.
been on vacation.
You'll watch it. And
Yeah,
All
I don't
right.
get that reference at all since I
so
don't watch it.
Cersei makes love to Jon Snow,
Don't.
who kills. Who kills
I'm going to
Hodor.
start throwing things at you.
Joffrey comes back from the dead.
Put him on mute.
All right. No spoilers.
He's loud enough. You're Michael. Pick him
I
up.
know.
No spoilers.
I know.
So liquid nitrogen. They're gonna make the metal out of what?
Flamethrowers.
I'm actually not sure what material contains liquid nitrogen, but liquid nitrogen is always stored in a container of some sort to prevent it.
So you're saying they make the robots out of the container?
Out of the container metal.
Out of a material.
material.
Oh, okay.
Out of a material that is resistant
Lightning
to
gun.
Lightning
Like a
gun.
railgun, dude.
Lightning gun. You've been watching some anime, haven't you?
Shoots lightning.
That's
A
what,
gun
that's what
that
happening.
shoots lightning.
Gun
So
that shoots
it's
lightning.
That's just electricity, dude.
High voltage electricity.
Exactly.
Yes.
So they just need to be grounded.
Yeah.
And-
They are
You just
grounded.
let it pass
Nuclear
right
bombs. Sorry, he's the one that's supposed to guess. I'm sorry. I went with the nuclear option.
Nuclear bomb. I mean,
through. Destroys all life on Earth.
Yeah,
Let's
what
not do that.
survives?
You're going to make the things out of that metal and cockroaches.
That's
And Twinkies.
Well,
Twinkies.
the thing is, I mean, nuclear bomb has always been the thing that
Really
rogue
small
nations
nuclear
wants to
bombs,
get their
though.
hands on, but everybody that has hands on them never really intend or wish to use them anyway.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, and if one does, then I think nobody can escape the.
But I don't think.
Then we are
I
literally
don't think
Fallout
he
4.
he answered to the lightning gun.
That's true.
You just have to be grounded.
Yeah, you just have to. Be
It just
grounded.
passes right through.
Yeah.
And doesn't interrupt any circuitry along the way.
Depends how your grounding is working. If it bypasses the circuitry, then yeah, no problem.
What about multiple lightning guns?
Well, it's the same principle of having a lightning rod on the roofs,
Yeah.
you know, and then your house is grounded because that lightning rod is grounded. It connects from the roof to the earth.
It's basically a bypass.
Yeah.
But isn't it a bad thing to be grounded if you touch a wire?
Only if,
Only if you're biological.
yeah, if you're human, yes.
So I'm still saying that there's your house gets struck by lightning rod or not, shit in your house is going to break.
No, lightning rods actually bypass it.
Right.
So that stuff doesn't break.
I look it up.
Okay.
Electronics in your house are affected by a lightning strike, regardless of lightning rod or not.
Oh, that could be because
That's why you have to have ground stuff, right?
before a lightning hits, there's a lot of static electricity, and a lot of electronics in your house are doesn't have any shielding against static electricity.
So are you anti-killer robot or for killer robot? Like when you become Negan,
I just think they're stupid. I think it's a robot. It's not that hard to stop. That's what I'm saying.
Just knock it over.
That's
too.
true, dude. Robots are not exactly like Terminator style yet. Like they like anyone can push one over.
Let's put it this way. Look at a tank, okay? A tank. We make stuff. The materials tanks are made out
Nitrogen.
of.
Oh, sorry.
The materials tanks are made out of is what we're going to be making these robots out of.
Metal.
Metal. Exactly. Tanks get blown up all the damn time.
Yeah.
Robots will be blown up all the damn time.
You know what doesn't
I'm
get
with
blown
you.
up?
I don't think Killer Robot would be an issue.
Yeah, it's just like it's silly in my opinion.
You know what doesn't get blown up?
Blimps?
Blimps.
Wait.
Hold on a second.
Hindenburg what?
Say Hindenburg.
There's a
says
lot
what?
of examples where
Oh,
that
write
actually
down.
did happen.
Write down Hindenburg says what? And tiki torches.
Didn't you say that he's talking about AI robots?
No, he's talking about killer. I don't know. Elon Musk is talking about something all the time.
He's just talking about just robot warfare in
Robot
general.
warfare in general, yeah. The robots will be the next phase. Basically, they'll replace all troops with robots, and the robots will just go into a town and kill indiscriminately.
And they're, he's talking about drones, weaponizing drones and how dangerous that's. I'm like,
They're already
people are
weaponized.
shooting drones out of the air with shotguns. I mean, if they're treating it like birds.
You know what else they're going to be able to shoot out of the air? Blimps. Okay, so from GeekWire.com comes a story that we've been following, through the years here on BtR. We've talked about the self-delivering drones, and then a couple months ago we talked about how Amazon now has a airship warehouse type thing that these drones are going to land on. Now, a new twist, the Seattle-based retailing giant has received a patented for another airship application aimed at keeping track of drones as they go about their business. And there's yet another twist. The other retailing
But wait,
giant,
there's more.
The other retailing giant in the game, Walmart, has its own plans for airship warehouses. Amazon's concept, known as the Airborne Monitoring System, or AMS, is described as a patent application. It is described in a patent application. The inventors describe a system that can make use of high-altitude airships equipped with wireless communication systems and high-definition cameras, as well as weather monitoring equipment. The airships can look down on a wide stretch of terrain and monitor a fleet of delivery drones through imagery as well as wireless telemetry. The airships, in turn, can be linked wirelessly to ground stations and to each other. In some implementations, the AMS may navigate to a lower altitude to provide advertising, improve the visual coverage of AMS coverage area during inclement weather or something like that.
So, okay, these blimps, are they going to be tethered?
No. They're going to be...
Then I don't see that lasting very long.
Blimped around.
Yeah, honestly.
Now, wait, the blimps are a warehouse? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, we talked about that previously, that they were talking about having a blimp warehouse. So the drones come up to the warehouse, get the things, go back down. So now they're talking about also having smaller blimps that monitor the drones as they go about their business.
I don't think that ever
So
happens.
they're like a mothership monitoring the little.
Yes.
The little baby ships.
Little baby ships.
I think that's a bad idea.
Last week, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office also published an application by Walmart to have gas-filled aerial transport and launch systems on unmanned aircraft systems. Walmart's inventors see their systems as a means of transporting packages and the drones to deliver them between cities. So what Walmart's talking about is they take the drones, they strap your package to the drone, they then, very much like the Clone Wars of Star Wars, load up thousands of these drones and then just ship it to Salt Lake. Like, this is everything that's going to Salt Lake. It gets above Salt Lake, the drones deploy, and you get your Vaseline that you need to seal your mouth with the thing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Vaseline to
It is
seal your
awesome.
mouth with the thing.
And it
Okay,
to me, it seems feasible. Like, this seems feasible. Like, you see this kind of stuff. Like, you notice a lot of like futuristic stuff has drones.
I don't see that
on
as
it.
feasible.
I don't know, man.
I say that only because of the blimp portion. The blimps, the reason they aren't feasible as a transportation of anything device is because weather. They are really susceptible to any weather out there. So if you have clear skies, all for it. But any sort of inclement weather, and they are basically worthless. They get blown way off course really easy.
Right,
So-
but are the Walmart version blimps too? I thought they were.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It says right in here is that while the airship concept of Walmart which isn't an approved patent yet, sounds very much like Amazon's patent that they got granted this one. It stands chance of approval because the application goes into more detail about how to implement the system. So Walmart has actually been filing hundreds of patents recently, not only for drone delivery concepts, but other technologies such as augmented reality shopping, personalized in-store advertising, all this stuff. They're getting ahead. So I would be willing to bet that this, because Amazon's doing the same thing, we're going to see these two titans of industry go at it.
Oh, you think they're going to do the Apple-Microsoft wars?
I bet.
Well, so
For Apple Android wars?
Another news regarding these two companies against each other is that Google has joined the fight.
Yeah, that's one of my stories coming up.
You jumped the gun.
Yeah, you jumped the gun. Jumped the gun.
It's okay.
But yeah, that's all I have for feature tech.
All right, let's move into collectibles is our next segment, right?
Yes.
Too bad. Don't have a bumper for that one. Move on.
What about collector chests?
Don't have a bumper for that one either. Move on.
We're not-
Kidding. Here you go.
Now it's time for our inner child to brag about our cool toys.
I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end.
Everything is awesome.
Legos, Hot Wheels, Funkos, or G.I. Joes.
Your plan is laughable.
If it's childish and you collect it, you'll enjoy collectibles.
So this will just be a real quick story, but I did want to bring it up just for those that follow us on the YouTube channel, and I know that there's some people out there that have subscribed to these boxes specifically because of our YouTube channel. There was a major development this week, a Nerd Block. So Nerd Block shuttered their doors. They shut their doors. The website went offline. They've already taken this month's payment and not delivered anything. There was talk with last month's Nerd Block that people were just getting boxes filled with random crap that they've already got in previous Nerd Blocks. Like, it was very hastily put together. And there's a lot of talk that Loot Crate's in trouble too. So one of the things I wanted to bring up is Nerd Block has officially filed for bankruptcy. They owe Funko, just Funko, $250,000. And they owe New York Comic Con $150,000. Diamond Comic Distributors, which we know is the biggest comic distributors in the world, $260,000. And the list goes on and on and on into the millions that they owe all these people. There's been a lot of talk that Funko's been, or Loot Crate online. There hasn't been an official thing, but Loot Crate has been having these Loot Crate warehouse deals where they're basically giving stuff away. And there's a lot of talk, there's been at least one Loot Crate that's been delayed every month this year. And they're adding more boxes on top of it. So there's talk that maybe Loot Crate might be in trouble too. We'll have to see, and we'll pay close attention to the news in regards to that. Also in collectible news, I just wanted to mention the Funkos for New York Comic Con are getting announced next week, Jones.
So this one's going to be
In October.
Is this the fall convention series?
Yes, this is the fall convention series.
Right, is what
the
sticker will say.
So last year they had 15. This year, 60. Over 60 items are going to be announced for New York Comic Con.
Good Lord.
So me and Jones have been talking about the saturation of Funkos is reaching Beanie Baby level proportions.
It's getting to the ridiculous level. And
so
honestly.
So they're going to announce them all starting next week. Obviously, they have till October, so who knows? They had a very successful Funko headquarters launch that happened this week.
We started to check that out.
Dude, I am so regretful that I didn't go. You know that Kevin Smith emceed the whole thing.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I saw the story.
It's like it was made for me, and I didn't go. But anyway.
All right, let's get right into our next segment.
Get ready to deflate some balls. Chris and Jones step into the locker room.
Ooh, the locker room.
Deflated balls
There we
are
go.
big business, and you know that they're big business because the Patriots this month. This comes from BleacherReport.com.
Where's the sports intern when we need him?
Yes, where are you, sports intern? Mainly because you need to bring your dog food, jackass. I know he's not going to listen, so I'll just say it. Patriots become the first NFL franchise to buy a team plane. Now, of course, it's Robert Kraft, so he didn't just buy one plane; he bought two planes. So the Patriots unveiled that
Is that like the
two
starter plane and then the backup
you
plane?
get one plane, throw another plane in free, just in case Tom and Giselle need to go off on vacation. Yeah, so they bought two 767s to fly to games. So I thought this was pretty crazy. So the estimated cost of each plane is for both planes, around $10 million, right? Right? So they were a used pair of 767s. They weren't brand new. They were a used pair of 767s. $10 million, right? But charter costs, meanwhile, are expected to be go up to $4 million for 10 round trips, which is that includes preseason games and the games in the season. So they have 8 away games in the season that they normally take the planes for, unless they're playing like the Jets.
I don't feel safe flying a $5 million 767.
Yeah, it seems like it's really so. $4 million a season versus $10 million out front. I feel like I'm surprised that not everybody owns the planes. I was surprised that they were the first NFL franchise to own planes. Period.
You got the you got the cost to operate them as well.
The cost.
There's fees to land at the airports. There's gas. There's all sorts of fees that go along with that. They're not inexpensive to maintain.
And one of the things that they bring up on here is the whole plane has first class seating, obviously, and the team anticipates a boost in player recovery because they're going to have a smart toilet. When you pee into the toilet, it measures your hydration levels.
Okay, then. You need to drink more water.
Yeah, drink more water, Tom Brady.
Are they going to make everybody pee in the toilet?
Is there going to be some people that are like, I'm not peeing in that toilet?
Do you have to put your fingerprint on it so it knows it's you?
I'm not peeing in that toilet.
Tom Brady, this is Tom. You need to pee. You need to drink more water.
Gronkowski, your piss is 40% beer.
Or
yes, so that's
you will not pass your next urine test.
Patriots still suck, but that's all I got for
Pats suck.
Yeah, the Pats suck.
All right, well, I got.
Who are we rooting for this year? Are you still like? I really want the Raiders to win the Super Bowl this year. I would love it. Yes, reason.
Yeah.
So I think it would be really cool for Marshawn Lynch to come out of retirement, bring one home from Oakland before they leave.
Leave for Vegas.
That's one of the reasons.
Okay.
The second reason, and it would mean a lot more if they hadn't won they won in the early 2000s. So if they hadn't won since like the 60s, it would mean a lot more. So discounting that. 2 years ago, my friend Brian's team won. Last year, my friend Robbie's team won. If Brad's team wins this year,
you think the Browns are just going to follow?
No. And the Niners win next year, and then the Seahawks win, and then whatever he's rooting for, they win. Then the Browns might win. So who knows?
So you're like planning like 6 years down the line because all your friends will have won. That maybe the Browns will have.
The Browns. But, although the Browns are currently undefeated, so I'm just saying. I know it's still preseason.
It's preseason.
They've won more games in the preseason than they won all last season and preseason combined.
Well, so before we leave, Locker, let me just comment on that really quick. So, we had this conversation already about preseason stuff because he was telling me how his team's now undefeated and everything, and I was like, well, it's preseason, but in his defense, oh my God, Kyle Shanahan is taking preseason far too seriously.
Yeah, they're going really hard, which I worry about. So, so they're playing teams that are like, whoa, you got all the starters out there, huh? So they obviously have something to prove. But so we won more games this season in the preseason than we won all last season and preseason combined. Like if we start off 2-0, I'm gonna be like buying Super Bowl gear, anyway. I'm hoping for a winning season. That's all I want.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to get us into a segment we don't have a lot on the show, surprisingly enough. And let's get right into it.
Fuel for the body, fuel for the mind. Don't know if you can call Twinkies and Ding Dongs fuel, but they get hungry sometimes.
The time has come for cookies!
And from the looks of it, they know the best food out there. Guys ever hear of Weight Watchers or exercise at all?
So no wonder we don't do this segment very often. So
I remember why now.
Here's the thing.
He is horrible.
I want to put this out there. If we get hella skinny, I'm going to force this motherfucker to do our bumpers for free. To re-record them all with all the fat jokes removed.
No, I think we bring him on the show and just play all the fat bumpers and looking at him goes, who's fat now? Like that.
We should.
Yeah.
We'd have to do the show on a different day besides Thursday, but he'd probably come on. Yeah. Who's fat now? And then push
fat
him.
now, Pete?
Yeah, Pete.
Awesome.
Start pushing him around.
Yeah.
So Starbucks is now topping coffee with beef jerky.
Because why wouldn't you?
Okay, I eat keto, but that's a little crazy.
So I'm reading through this story, and that's why I really want to talk about it. Is Starbucks is actually doing a pretty cool thing here, not with necessarily the jerky thing, but I had no idea they did this kind of stuff. So the coffee chain recently introduced a pepper nitro with a jerky twist specialty beverage to highlight its Starbucks Reserve. So then I was like, wait, nitro? Well, I guess they are serving alcohol in some of the Starbucks now, so this isn't a coffee thing. This is about beer, right?
Okay.
But then I got reading, no, this is actually coffee. So
they put nitrogen like they do with beer. They do that for beer.
Yeah, it's a nitrogen dispenser for this cold brewed coffee.
So does that mean it has bubbles?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's got head on the coffee. There's head.
I mean, I'm not one to complain about head. But that seems a little ridiculous.
So the other cool thing about this is Starbucks has been having a lot of ongoing efforts to source small lot coffee from around the world.
Oh my gosh!
And this one they're highlighting the Starbucks Reserve Eastern DR Congo Lake Kivu coffee. That's from the eastern region,
Dominican Republic
of the Dominican Republic of Congo.
Are we just out of it? Are we just not hip? Like, obviously we're not hip. I think we could agree. But is there literally people that are going in Starbucks and be like, oh, they got the Congo Reserve? First of all, Starbucks Reserve, come on, man. You're like one of the biggest corporations in the world. You don't have to pretend like you're not. And
these are very small lots, dude.
Ugh.
Lots, small.
Fucking hipsters.
And the other thing is you can't get this one anywhere, just anywhere. You have to, it's only available for a limited time at the experimental Seattle Reserve Roastery and Tasting Room. That features this lovely coffee.
Of course it's Seattle. I mean, it's Starbucks, so it's going to be Seattle.
But it's served draft style.
That's your people.
Via a nitro tap and then imbued with malted fennel black pepper syrup, giving it a flavor that the chain describes as once savory and sweet. And then finally, honey cold foam is layered atop the drink, and the whole shebang is sprinkled with cracked pink peppercorn, and then, heaven help us, crowned with a bamboo skewer of natural jerky made with grass-fed beef.
That is ridiculous. And anyone that says it's not ridiculous. So I have had slap your mom in the mouth coffee that's like that good. Like, but that's ridiculous.
I got to tell you, I don't drink coffee, and I would drink that.
Oh my God, that's so pretentious.
That sounds devolved.
It does sound interesting,
hold
doesn't
on.
it? Yeah.
Read the ingredients individually.
All right.
One at a time.
So the coffee itself is from the Eastern DR Congo Lake Kivu Coffee Company.
Okay, so I'll give you that one. It's
Okay.
coffee.
It's coffee.
Coffee's coffee.
And then we have, let's see, going on to
Did you just say coffee's coffee?
imbued with malted fennel black pepper syrup.
So what is that?
It's malted fennel black pepper syrup.
What is a fennel?
Fennel is a vegetable that tastes kind of like licorice.
And what makes it malted? I don't. How do you?
The
malt
process
something?
of processing it.
Okay, so syrup. Okay, what's the next one?
So the next one is honey cold foam. So it's a honey flavored cold foam layered atop the whole thing, and then we're sprinkling it with cracked pink peppercorns.
That sounds awesome.
Come on, you got to try
What is
that.
a cracked pinker corn?
Cracked pink peppercorn.
What is the
So
flavor
pretentious.
profile?
Oh my gosh,
of the
I'm
pink
really
peppercorn
surprised you don't want to do this.
versus a standard peppercorn.
What?
Though? What is the
Dude, I'm so simple. Like I'm like, give me a fucking French roast, and I'll pour sugar in it for the 30 seconds.
Do you have a pepper grinder?
So I have like the pink pepper that you grind, like the McCormick. Like, do I have a pepper grinder that I put like peppercorn into?
Yeah.
No, but I have like the ones they sell.
So that's what I'm saying, is that's a peppercorn, is the stuff that goes into a pepper grinder. This is just the pink version of it. They have those same peppercorns, but they come in all pink.
They're pink.
So
Well, I'm not good. I love all pink. Chris loves all pink.
All right, so yeah, that's one food story.
I'm in. Let's go to Seattle.
Let's go to this.
I wanna try
next
it.
time
I don't
we're
drink
there,
coffee, and I
I want
wanna
to go to
try
this
that.
reserve roastery and tasting room.
I do.
So Jones, how about we let your
Dude, next time we go to Seattle, we're going there.
your one go last, and I'll talk because mine ties into yours a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
So we've talked about this, and it's very obvious that the whole Walmart Amazon battle is very interesting to me. So something interesting happened in that, and this actually comes from I tried to find the best source of this, and it's this random website called ozarksfirst.com. So obviously the Walmart
Sounds a
is
little inbred.
well, Walmart is in
Inbred
Arkansas,
country.
so
Yeah, inbred
it's like
country. Yeah.
this is where they released the actual thing too. But so Walmart and Google have teamed up to take on Amazon. So this month or this week, it was announced that that Google Checkout, Google Express, which both me and Jones used for the very first time recently.
Correct.
Google Express is kind of like almost like Amazon Marketplace, I guess, would be a good thing. But they have partners like ToysRUs.com and Jet.com, Costco.com. And there's actually, for anyone out there, I believe there's an awesome Groupon still going on. For $15, you get $40 off Google Express, which is why me and Jones used it. It's basically the tech company's online shopping mall. So they've announced that Google Express is actually adding Walmart into that in order to compete with Amazon. And you'll soon be able to go, OK, Google, order blah from Walmart, and it will be a new feature that rolls out similar to Alexa. So that's a new feature for the Google Home.
Awesome, very cool. Wow. Well, in retrospect to that with the Amazon Marketplace and whatnot, so Amazon recently, Bezos did the bad thing where he was like, Alexa, buy me something from Whole Foods, and Alexa went,
I will buy Whole Foods,
yes.
Jeff.
And he's like, wait, never.
13.7 billion.
And just got Whole Foods now.
Should I use the black card?
And from that transaction, Amazon Prime members get discounts at Whole Foods now.
Which might actually make me shut. So what kind of discounts does it say?
Yeah, so essentially, you're looking at customers will enjoy lower prices on products like whole trade bananas, organic avocados, organic large brown eggs, organic responsibly farmed salmon and tilapia, organic.
They sell organic.
Yes.
I've been looking
lots
at
of
organic
stuff. Basically, it's no big secret that they do, but there is no 100%
definitive
list of
if they would come out and be like, anybody that's Prime member gets 10% off Whole Foods.
You get 0.3% off everything organic.
You get That's how much it is?
No.
Oh. It doesn't say.
You said that so
It doesn't say.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's going to be certain things that
wasn't me.
that are but they don't have the actual.
There's no actual number tied to it, but it's just that they will get a discount on these lines of products, basically. And it's all part of their plan to work into the Amazon Prime into the point of sale system at the Whole Foods markets.
That's actually a cool thing.
Pretty cool.
Be honest with you.
It is pretty cool.
How do you prove your Amazon Prime membership? Do you have to?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do I get an Amazon Prime card identification
I bet
card?
it's through the app. I bet it's through the Amazon app.
Either the Amazon app, but like I said, they're trying to incorporate the Amazon Prime into the point of sale system, so it's most likely going to be phone number.
So you'll sign in with your Amazon
address,
account probably in the point of
sale
sale
system. Yeah.
Oh, they're putting those Amazon lockers in Whole Foods too, which is convenient. That means you can get your Amazon purchases shipped to the Whole Foods.
So you don't got to be there when it arrives.
So if you live in like an apartment complex, I'd imagine.
Or if you have a problem with
theft
from your porch that some people do.
Do you do?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people have.
Is there someone we know that does?
Jesse and Eric have had that problem.
Yes, they have.
Center, right? Yeah.
Which is crazy because Jesse and Eric, like, not to describe exactly where they live, but do you know where that? No. So their porch, they live in a condo, so it's like a straight shot, and then you go like this. So I'd imagine you'd have to go back there to find out there's something on their porch.
Yeah, it's not readily visible from the street.
Your porch is like right by the street.
Yeah, it's definitely highly visible, but I think.
But everyone knows you have so many guns.
Combination of guns and dogs.
Yeah.
Kind of prevent stuff going on. So, all right. Well, I think we're coming to an end. Let's go ahead and let Dave do his quick hits.
Get the quick hits today.
He's the fastest talker in the West and the East and the North. And as a matter of fact, you can't get him to shut up. But he does it in 60 seconds or less. It's Dave with quick hits.
He's very opinionated about me.
Hey, at least he didn't call you fat.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, on your mark, get set, go.
Activists want Trump to support the rights for women to go topless in public without fear of arrest or shame.
Something I can get behind.
An 800-year-old coffin was smashed to the floor of a UK museum last week after someone reportedly tried to put a child inside it for a photo. A woman in Devon, England, reached out to a local clairvoyant named Beckley Wilbury to help her sniff out her lost pet skunk. A farmer in southern England has thanked the firefighters who saved her piglets from a blazing barn fire by treating the crew members of the fire station to a batch of sausages which were made from the very animals they rescued from the fire. A bar in Dublin, Ireland is desperately seeking the return of its urinal mural of President Donald Trump and are now offering...
Urinal mural. That's a hard word to say.
Yes, it is. Of President Donald Trump and are now offering a 100-pound beer tab as a reward. A Japanese company has introduced a new role for SoftBank's humanoid robot Pepper as a Buddhist priest to hire for funerals.
You shouldn't put all the good ones at the end.
It was the Trump mural that got you. I got to be honest. The urinal mural.
How pissed off would you be? So I know you think that's funny, and by all means, it's hilarious. I would be so pissed off if I saved some stupid pigs, put my life on the line, and then the lady showed up and was like, "Hey, you know those pigs? I killed them anyway. Have some sausages." I'd be like, "What the hell, lady? Why didn't you tell me that when we could have had sausages that night?"
Okay, it's a barn, and there are animals in it.
Guess what's going to happen?
It's
They're
what's
there
gonna
for
happen.
slaughter.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
They're just like, hey, Phil, you saved the shit out of that. You saved the shit out of that pig. It's good.
See that pig? That's the one you picked up right there.
What did you have left?
I had a couple really good ones. I had the ones where a couple in Pennsylvania saw Jesus in a...
I see Jesus all the time.
Well,
That's nothing new.
They had an ultrasound done of their baby, and they saw a picture of Jesus looking at their baby in the ultrasound.
Oh, my God.
That was a good one.
Do they also have pictures of Jesus on their toast?
No.
Oh, that's not true.
A teen in
False.
Saudi Arabia was arrested for
Fake
dancing
news.
the Macarena in public. Apparently not allowed to do
Which,
that.
you know
Saudi
what?
Arabia.
I don't
Frowned
agree with
upon.
a lot of the stuff in the Middle East, but I'm for it.
No Macarenas in public.
No Macarenas.
What's another one? Oh, 22 tons of Nutella was stolen in Germany.
I had that story, but I
Does
didn't
that
put it
mean
in.
less of it's going to make it here, please?
I think it was going to Germany. The truck that it was in was stolen with all the Nutella
Where does
in it.
Nutella come from?
I have no idea.
Where
Is it an import?
Yeah, it's important.
No, so it's not anymore, but it's from Germany.
Right.
The first time I had Nutella, I had it from my German teacher had it.
Oh, wow.
But it's like 60% sugar.
The best one, though, honestly, the best one in my opinion, is the Atlantic Falcons have a new stadium called the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where Chick-fil-A has opened a restaurant in the stadium for
they
the Atlanta
won't be
Falcons,
open on Sunday.
which won't be open on Sunday.
Yeah, I heard that story too. Yeah.
So stop and think about this. The
How
stadium
many
for the
percentage of
Atlanta Falcons,
games-
where the games are played on Sunday, and the Chick-fil-A will not
There's
be
other
open
things that happen at
on
the stadium,
Sunday.
though. But yeah, that seems like a pretty big mess.
Isn't that weird?
It is a little
Why
weird.
would you pay
They're
to
paying
put,
a crap load of money
to
for
put a
something
Chick
that's going to be open.
that's going to be shuttered during the game?
And, I don't know if it's just the irony of the world, but whenever I actually want Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A, surprisingly, I can actually eat their breaded chicken if I don't eat it a lot, because it's so, they use good ingredients. There's not a ton of carbs in it. I always seem to want it on, and their grilled nuggets are the shiz, dude, the ones without breading. I always want it on Sunday, and there's one right by my house, and every time
And
I'm
it's
like,
always closed.
No.
Yeah.
But can you imagine all those people? They're going to piss off so many people. Because
Basically all of Atlanta.
Yeah. You don't want to piss off
Atlanta hates you, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thanks for listening to Beyond the Routine, brought to you by our friends at Bastion Technologies and Protocol 42.
Love you guys.
Thanks, everybody.